that just led me to doing radio shows because I was doing Black Expos. You remember the Black Expos?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Black Expo used to be huge.
Crazy.
Back then. So I would go and speak at the Black Expo. Yeah. And the people would be,
crazy.
like 1,000 people would show up because I would be on the radio raising hell with the morning show.
They want to see it live.
Yeah, back then they had a lot of local morning shows. Those of y'all who are watching from anywhere, you remember when almost all the morning shows were local before all the syndication.
Absolutely.
So I was able to go around to all the morning shows, get on the air, and just pretty much really upset people.
Yeah.
I want to say
piss them off. Piss them off.
Right.
Piss them off.
And then the women would come to see the guy who was talking all the stuff, and the men wanted to know who was telling all the secrets.
Right.
So, it was like 500, 1,000 people would show up, and then it just continued to grow from there.
Yes.
So thank you, Black Expo, for all that exposure.
Big. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with your philanthropic work, can you elaborate on it and tell us about the March for the Jenna 6 and how you came to spearhead that? Because
and Trayvon Martin.
And Trayvon Martin, absolutely. But us as Black folk in America, when we saw the Trayvon Martin and the Jenna 6 issues pop up, that was like a shell shock. I
think it's kind of like, because video now, right? Now we're seeing all the things happen because people have phones. So I think we all knew the type of things that were happening. I don't think anybody was surprised by with Jenna 6. Nobody's surprised by Trayvon Martin or any other things that have happened since then. So I just think that for me, it was just bringing things up to the surface that had been buried.
Sure.
So when Jenna 6 happened, I didn't want to tell people right away because I knew that once we put it out there, we had to have a plan for what we were going to do about it. And there's radio personalities and people who talk. Then there's people who are actually activists. I was an activist. So that whole march was spearheaded, not only verbally, but we mapped out. My manager, Pamela Exum, got to give her credit. She went down there with the state police. Worked out the route that we were going to walk. So when I say we put that together, we put that together. We booked the buses. Ice Cube.
Yes.
Ice
Cube,
he rented some buses.
They don't.
I'm ready when you are.
Yes, indeed. What's going on, everybody? CDL Cigar and Golf, Links and Legends sit-down cigar interview. We are here at the beautiful Chocolate City El Septimo Cigar Lounge right here downtown Las Vegas, owned by my guy, Mr. Johnny Yancey. Look, we star-studded today, man. We star-studded. I'm so excited about this. Look, philanthropist, syndicated radio host. What don't you do, Mr. Michael Baisden, sir?
It's good being here, man.
Yes,
it was
indeed.
great meeting you.
Yes,
was it a week ago?
Yes, sir.
We met at another establishment, another Black establishment, and you invited me out.
Yes, sir.
I was with your guest,
yes,
previous
indeed.
guest, Alicia.
Yes, indeed.
And that's the benefit of relationships,
absolutely.
Right? You met
me
through her.
Yes.
And now I'm here. And you're the first podcast I've ever done outside of my own. So
how much of an honor is that?
No, the honor's all mine. The honor's all mine.
Links and Legends gets the exclusive from Mr. Michael Baisden.
So, I was really excited on the turn interview into
Come on.
I was really excited about what you're doing, brother.
Yes, sir.
I'm real proud of you. I want to see you be successful.
Thank you so much.
What is Links and Legend? I'm here because of this, brother, but I want to know more about the business.
So with my Cigar and Golf YouTube channel, CDL Cigar and Golf, I wanted to kind of branch it off. I was doing what I'm still currently doing, course vlogs and stuff like that, where you just follow me around the golf course and you get a little dialogue from me and the people that are playing alongside of me. But I wanted to sit down and really talk to folks over this cigar. And for me, the cigar is very, very therapeutic.
It is.
And it helps people to open up, in my opinion. And when you're able to sit down with somebody and enjoy a nice cigar
and a drink,
it definitely brings out, to me, it brings out the best in folks.
It is. It's a great conversational
space,
it is. Right? Cigar
yes, it
bars
is.
Are great conversational
yes,
spaces.
Sir.
So since I was coming out, since you were doing this, I thought it would be a great opportunity to get to know you.
Absolutely.
And to talk to the folks about, whatever was on your mind.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, man, I greatly appreciate you. Links and Legends, greatly appreciate you. CDL Cigar and Golf, greatly appreciate you. Now, you're Chicago born and raised, man. What was it like for you as a young man growing up in the city of Chicago?
Oh, well, Chicago. We had the Wonder Years for a lot of you younger.
Yes.
For some a man of a certain age.
That's right.
We had the Wonder Years. I think we lived the last of the Wonder Years.
Yes, sir.
When you could actually go outside and play with your kids.
That's
to
right.
Go out and be miles and miles away from home. Yeah, with Chicago, you still have the gangs, the El Rookins, and Blackstone Rangers, and that we go way back.
A lot of youngsters might not know the Blackstone Range. They might not know.
And so, it was just all about just trying to get through that, through life, and, here I am.
That's right. That's right.
The one thing about Chicago and probably any other big city or any hood is that you grow up with a certain toughness and a certain street wiseness. Yeah. And all those things benefit you in business and in life in general because you're used to the hustle and the grind.
That's
so,
right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it was Chicago. Chicago was Chicago.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I read that you once were a train operator.
Oh, yeah.
In Chicago.
Yeah.
How did that come about for you?
Let me tell you something.
What was it like?
The Michael Baisden show that you all see on television and radio started on the trains.
Come on now.
I would literally have people on my trains having a conversation from downtown to 95th Street. Those of you all from Chicago will know.
Wow.
And people would literally run to my car because I was a conductor.
Yes.
They would run to my car and we would have conversations for like 45 minutes from downtown to 95th Street, literally every day. So the show got started on a train. And so that was right after I got out the Air Force, which was great. I enjoyed the Air Force. It's like going to college almost.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
So all those things prepare you. Like everything that you've probably gone through in your life prepared you for this, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you love the art of conversation too, because that's really what this is.
Absolutely.
Right?
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Look, let's talk about your career in radio and how you got started. What was your motivation for going into radio?
Let's start with the books because the books came first.
Yes.
Terry McMillan was killing the game. Back then, everybody was reading.
Terry's the Don.
Terry,
Salute Terry.
Anybody who knows Terry, tell Terry for me that she was a huge inspiration because while I was on the trains, I would see women reading her books.
Wow.
Waiting to Exhale, Disappear and Act Mama.
Yes.
And so I was like, oh my God, these women are really into these books. And of course, I was an avid reader at the time, but I was reading more Malcolm X, Destruction of Black Civilization, ISIS Papers, more socially conscious reading. But I started reading more novels, and I was like, I can do that.
Of course.
Because that's what they say, you have to see it to be it.
That's right.
So I was seeing women reading Terry's books, and I read it, and I was like, I can do this.
Yes.
And so I wrote it. Now, I wanted to start with Me and Cry in the Dark first, which was a novel.
Yes.
But I didn't see novelists on TV.
Right.
I saw relationship authors on TV.
Yes, sir.
So instead of writing the book that I wanted to write first, which was Me and Cry in the Dark, I wrote Never Satisfied, How and Why Men Cheat, because I knew that would, it was provocative.
Yeah, that's provocative.
Why do men cheat?
Sure.
So I knew, and I got calls to Sally Jesse and Wanda. And, I did all those shows back then.
Unbelievable.
And so that just led me to doing radio shows because I was doing Black Expos. You remember the Black Expos?
Absolutely.
Black Expo used to be huge.
Crazy.
Back then. So I would go and speak at the Black Expo, and the people would be like 1,000 people would show up because I would be on the radio raising hell with the morning show.
They want to see it live.
Yeah, back then they had a lot of local morning shows. Those of y'all who are watching from anywhere, you remember when almost all the morning shows were local before all the syndication.
Absolutely.
So I was able to go around to all the morning shows, get on the air, and just pretty much really upset people.
Yeah.
I want to say
piss them off. Piss them off.
Right.
Piss them off.
And then the women would come to see the guy who was talking all the stuff, and the men wanted to know who was telling all the secrets. So, it was like 500 to 1,000 people would show up, and then it just continued to grow from there. So thank you, Black Expo, for all that exposure.
Big. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with your philanthropic work, can you elaborate on it and tell us about the March for the Jenna 6 and how you came to spearhead that? Because
and Trayvon Martin.
And Trayvon Martin, absolutely. But us as Black folk in America, when we saw the Trayvon Martin and the Jenna 6 issues pop up, that was That was like it was like a shell shock kind of to us.
I think it's kind of like, because video now, right?
Yeah.
Now we're seeing all the things happen because people have phones. So I think we all knew the type of things that were happening. I don't think anybody was surprised by it with Gina 6. Nobody's surprised by Trayvon Martin or any other things that have happened since then. So I just think that for me, it was just bringing things up to the surface that had been buried.
Sure.
So when Gina 6 happened, I didn't want to tell people right away because I knew that once we put it out there, we had to have a plan for what we were going to do about it. And there's radio personalities and people who talk. Then there's people who are actually activists. I was an activist. So that whole march was spearheaded not only verbally, but we mapped out. My manager, Pamela Exum, got to give her credit. She went down there with the state police.
Yes.
Worked out the route that we were going to walk.
Yes.
So when I say we put that together, we put that together. We booked the buses. Ice Cube.
Yes.
Ice Cube, he rented some buses. Tyler Perry came down. Frankie Beverly was on the stage with us.
Yes.
I mean, it was just an amazing experience that Gina 6 experienced. But it was all about those young men because they were in a schoolyard fight. And because the white kids got beat, they wanted to arrest them for attempted murder. I don't think people understand it. It was a school fight. And they wanted to sentence these boys, these 6 boys, to attempted murder because of a schoolyard fight. I was like, no, that's not going to happen.
That's not going
I was
down.
on 80 Cities at the time, and I was like, no, we're going down there and shut that down. And that's exactly what we did.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Look, once again, you're here live right here, Links and Legends. We're here at the beautiful Chocolate City ep7 Cigar Lounge. I'm here with Mr. Michael Baisden. Look, let's get into the book. Let's get into the book.
Which one?
There's Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. What is Don't Lie to Me, a journey of transparency? What should the readers look for and gain from this project?
Well, remember, the very first book that I wrote was Never Satisfied, How and Why Men Cheat. That was the beginning.
Yes.
I wrote that for 2 reasons. First of all, I knew it would be provocative and people would respond to it. But also because it was kind of my own therapy for myself. That's right. Because I was, immature, lying, playing games.
Yes, sir.
And it was doing a lot of damage to me and obviously to the women I was involved with. So it was my point of maturity. And so I wanted the men to mature with me. I wanted women to understand the game. I had a daughter at the time. She's 33 years old now. So I wrote it for her too, so that she would know the game.
That's right.
If something was happening to me, I wrote the game for you.
You got the encyclopedia.
So this is full circle. 20 years from now, it's at 30. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's 30 years.
Wow.
30 years later, I'm writing this as a more mature man.
Yes.
Getting beyond the cheating and more into the transparency. And that's what I challenge you.
Yes, sir.
And all the rest of you brothers out here to start being more transparent within these relationships for your benefit.
That's right. That's right.
And that's the one thing that men haven't grasped. We're a little slow.
Lost.
We're a little slow.
We a lot slow.
We don't realize that transparency is for us. It's not just for the women. So I wanted to talk to young men like you.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to talk to men in general and try to encourage them to just be more honest for their own benefit.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful thing.
I mean, that's it in a nutshell.
Absolutely.
Because we're wasting a lot of time, destroying a lot of lives, and ruining our reputations, which should matter for any man who's serious about being successful. Your reputation is everything. Your word is everything.
It's everything.
And so those bad relationships also is a reflection on your reputation.
Come on now.
I won't deal with a man. When I meet men who want to hang out with me, I tell them straight up, look, brother, if you're not transparent in your relationships, we can't hang.
Can't do it.
Now, how many men do you know will do that? Because for me, my relationship with you is a reflection of me.
Of you. Absolutely.
So I'm not hanging out with any cheaters. You're 50, 60 years old. Grow up.
Grow up. Absolutely.
Grow up.
Fully agree. Look, we're here live, man. Links and Legends. We're here with the great Michael Baisden, man.
I'm enjoying watching you do your thing. You know that
I
really
appreciate that, brother.
It's really a beautiful thing to be able to reach people and have conversation with others. And you can learn a lot from these interviews, right? You and I were talking about the Cat Williams interview with Shannon.
Yes, sir.
And how powerful that was. But why? Because Cat was so honest.
Yes.
He was so brutally honest.
Very forthcoming.
People, and people are turned on by that. Why? Because they want it in their own relationships, and they wish they could be that transparent.
Yes. I think when you say that, the wish that they can be that in their own relationships, that kind of hits home.
It really does.
With people, when you really say it to them, that hits home.
And it feels good for them to see a man who's being so honest.
Yes.
You know, Cat is so raw.
Yes,
he reminds me so much of myself.
Always has
been. And that's what we want.
Yes,
we want to
sir.
encourage that. It just felt good to have somebody
sir.
be so raw.
Yes.
And so that's what transparency is all about. So, Cat, thanks for being transparent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Look, where can the people find your book?
Oh, Amazon, where you find everything else now.
That's right.
We shop everything on Amazon.
Yes, indeed.
So go to Amazon.com and check it out. Kindle version, hardcover, softcover.
Yes, sir.
And check out all the other 8 books. Men Cry in the Dark, The Maintenance Man, Guys Against the Women. And thank you all for coming out and seeing the stage plays. I miss Richard Roundtree.
Yes.
Rest in peace,
Richard.
Richard was one of the characters in Men Cry in the Dark stage play. Billy D was in The Maintenance Man. So I really appreciate those incredible actors for being a part of my story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you too. Now you're a part of my story.
I am a part of the Michael Baisden story.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff, man.
It's great hanging out with you,
brother. Greatly appreciated you. Look, what advice going forward would you have for young men and young women alike that want to aspire to get themselves in radio or get themselves into entrepreneurship, or they may have an idea for a book and just don't know where to turn? What's your advice for them?
For me, it's all personal. Right? Everybody's worried about the business and the money side. They're not doing the self-work. Before I even start writing these books, I did that work on myself first. Because even though the focus is money, even though the focus is being successful and being popular or famous, whatever it is, it's all got to start with having that stability.
Has to.
It's like you and your relationship and your marriage. Everything's got to be cool at home in order for everything else to work.
Absolutely.
Right?
No question.
Because if it doesn't work, no matter what you build, it's not going to be sustainable.
It's not going to matter.
And that's what you see a lot of celebrities who are successful early, but you don't see that longevity.
Yeah.
And that longevity comes from having that stability.
Absolutely.
Which comes from being transparent.
Absolutely.
So for me, if you're going to ask me about anything, all you're going to hear from me right now, because I'm on the transparency movement. I'm trying to start a movement of transparency. And that doesn't mean just being honest with others. It means being honest with yourself. I had to tell myself I'm not monogamous.
Come on now.
Right? I had to tell myself I want to be this person. So I knew what kind of person I wanted to be. Now, am I willing to pay the price to be that person? Delayed gratification.
That's right.
That's a very important term for people to understand if they want to be successful. It's delayed gratification.
Absolutely.
So you got to delay that gratification, man. Delay the women,
Yes.
the parties, the money, the cars, all that stuff's got to be delayed.
Absolutely.
You got to focus on what's important. That is whatever you say the goal is.
Absolutely.
So be consistent. Yeah. Don't tell me you want to be successful when you're out running the streets. Don't
Come
tell
on
me
now.
you want to be successful and you got a bad reputation. Don't tell me you want to be successful and you're not consistent.
Yes.
Because any aspect of your life, and I'm in with this, it relies on consistency.
Yes.
You have to be consistent to be successful.
Absolutely. And I've learned that more here in my early 40s, man, and being able to, navigate certain spaces, man. I'm getting getting into entrepreneurship. Yeah. And I'm really truly understanding exactly what you just said now.
Yeah,
you always understood it, but to really be in it is something totally different.
Well, your character is everything.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at you right now,
Yes,
and I'm curious about your character. I'm not thinking about how much money you got or how it's going to benefit me.
Come on now.
I want to see you win, but I know you're not going to win if you don't have good character.
That's it.
Because it's your relationship with someone I knew, Alicia, who allowed me to have this experience with you. So if I didn't have a good relationship with her and trust her, then I would not trust you.
Absolutely.
So then it goes on from there. Your relationship with me will hopefully open up opportunities for people to now trust you.
Absolutely.
It's all about networking and relationships, man. Everything.
That is gigantic.
Build healthy relationships with everybody.
Yes.
Everybody you come in contact with, the UPS man.
Yeah.
I mean, this was me, man. Everybody I came in contact with, I gave a book to. I shook a hand. I looked them in the eyes. Yeah. And I said, thank you and showed genuine appreciation. People don't have any humility anymore. Man.
Come on now.
They just want to be. They just want to be famous and rich, but they don't have any character.
For me, that's the most important thing. Yeah. Humility. I swear by it. Yeah. Humility is the most important thing because if you're humble, you're able to accept everything.
But genuine
humility. Absolutely.
There's a lot of false modesty.
Come on
people are like, oh, well, but reality,
absolutely.
It's BS.
We see through it.
Yeah. I mean, being truly interested in someone else's success.
Yes, sir.
Really be invested in someone else's success.
Yes,
really want to see somebody else win. That's everything to me.
Wow.
So while you're in the process, to close this out for you, while you're in the process of being successful, understand that all those little people that, forget the term little people, you know what I mean by that.
Right.
All those people you come in contact with are really important.
True.
When the guys would deliver my books, the UPS guy would say, hey man, hold up, let me get you a book.
That's right.
Or two.
That's right.
When I was out at events and they couldn't afford the book, I would just give it to them.
Give it to them.
How many books did I sell from giving that one book to that person?
Tons.
You see what I'm saying? But I wasn't thinking about it in that sense.
Absolutely.
I was just doing what I thought was the right thing. So do the right thing, Dan.
Do the right thing.
Do the
Spike
right
Lee
thing.
said it. Do the right
Do the right
thing.
thing.
Look, we are here with the great Michael Baisden, man. Brother, I appreciate you. I thank you for being a part of this production. And you are welcome back to Links and Legends anytime you feel
Thank
like
you,
it,
partner.
sir. Greatly
And make sure these guests that you have on share something that's going to help others. That's what it's all about. If we've had success, and I've been very successful, all I want to do is see other people be successful. That's all I want to see.
Flat out. Look, man. Greatly appreciate
Thank you, brother.
man. Look,
What
Links
you
and
do for a
Legends.
living? This man hands like he crack concrete for a living. This brother here.
Look, been in law enforcement for 19 years, brother. I greatly appreciate you, man.
Good luck with everything, brother.
Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciate that, man. Links and Legends, CDL Cigar and Golf right here. We with the great Michael Baisden, man. Appreciate you chiming in. See you next time. Peace.
Thank you, sir.